A cousin is a little bit of childhood that can never be lost. That's a saying. Do you know who said that?
Walt Disney.
Super close. Marion C. Garrity. I never heard of him. But anyways.
It's a woman, I think, though.
I thought that it was perfect for this episode because meet my cousin Debo. This is I want to say the cousin that showed me how I grew, like how to grow up, was my first real BFF. The first one, because it was just us in the beginning. So when I came out of the womb, this is the guy that was waiting to befriend me. So this is another BD Boys podcast. Meet my cousin Debo, my first best friend, the guy that was literally there on day one. Growing up, I always looked up to you. You know that. I mean, I was your shadow for, how many years? Till probably 12, 13 years old. I was always following you around, asking questions. I always felt like you knew everything. Mm-hmm. I always felt safe and protective of you. And that's why I've always been close to you. I believe we'll always have that bond from growing up. You know what I mean? Like maybe we drifted apart as we got older, which happens, and now our lives are, busy, complicated. But I feel like anytime I bring up my childhood, I can't talk without bringing up my cousin Debo. That was the first one there. So meet my cousin Debo. And if you want to go ahead and say a little something.
Hey, everybody. So you're probably wondering what is going on right now. As you just heard this amazing testimonial from my cousin Paul, we are doing a podcast takeover. So welcome to Do It Like Danny and BD Boys. BD Boys is my cousin's podcast, as you can see. And Do It Like Danny is my podcast. And he actually invited me on his show. He beat me to the punch. He invited
you guys did invite me. You guys, we had talked about doing one too. But
we
it
did.
It never happened, but yeah.
But actions speak louder than words, and so we kind of fell short. It's probably, I'm going to blame it on cousin Angelo. So, so that way, it's always fun to poke fun at Angelo, who is now Angela. Anyways, we'll talk about it later. Anywho, thank you so much for having me on your show. To go back to what you said before, it's really interesting to hear those words. I was very lucky enough to actually hear some kind words from an old coworker who I had worked with years ago in New York. And he kind of expressed the same sentiment as you, but he wasn't my family. And you are my family. Yeah. And of course, you will always be my family. And yeah, we grew up, we were little. We were little. We were so little. But I don't want to take over too much, but y'all let you continue. Sorry.
So on my show, I like to introduce family, meet family, kind of get to know me through my family. So you're one of the biggest influences. So of course I'm going to have you on. So I want to start with, this is what I do usually with my guests, rapid fire. So just pop, don't think about it. Okay, first one. Let's start out easy. Your job or your previous job, which is what kind of, made you famous, your Emmys,
my
your
3-time Emmy Award winning job.
Producing for, what?
Multiple
Ellen,
daytime television talk shows.
Tyra, The Talk. So if you could do it all over again, would you do that or would you pursue something different?
God, is this one of those
rapid?
I would do that.
Okay.
I would do that.
And I honestly, I agree because you were a natural at it. So, okay. Do you still have goals currently?
I do.
Okay. What?
I want to live a peaceful and healthy life.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about career-wise?
Career-wise, I will do anything. It doesn't make a difference. If I got back into television, I always say that I don't want to go back in, but it's just the atmosphere has changed. So rapid fire, I would want to get into something that's helping people, whether it be like healthcare or helping gay and lesbian teens who perhaps may be adopted.
You're gay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, if you can't tell by the voice. No, I'm just kidding. Unless your microphone's changing in my heart. I'm going to BD Boy.
Yeah, I put the
Bush filter. Yeah. Oh, welcome.
The straight filter is on. Right now, like, politics is big. There's a lot of stuff going on. I know because I've talked to you and I've heard, you on your show. Do you regret at all voting for Trump?
I didn't vote for Trump.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, scratch that out then. Okay, sorry about that. I thought he was the one that. Okay.
There are people in our family that did though.
Yeah. Let's not go there.
Who we fight with on Facebook. Okay.
If you could go back to any year or age, what would it be and why?
God, that's a hard one. I
gotta
have
be
multiple. I know it's rapid fire. I know you want me to answer quickly, but there's a couple of them that are poignant to me. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry.
Finally, I get somebody.
I think helping take care of my sisters. I think that is. Listen, as a gay man, I will never have children, but I helped raise my two sisters. My mother had them, but I helped raise them, and I think that was a turning point in making us stronger. Do it like Danny. And I think what made me even stronger was when I first realized that I was gay, and I had to come to terms with that. So those are two important trajectories in my life that changed me.
No, and that's right. I would have said when he was. When did you start raising your 10?
I was 10.
15.
I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
That's when Rachel was born.
Those were probably my best years too.
What's your prime though?
My prime was when I was 12. Just because that was when I physically peaked. But that was my most fond time of you too, Debo. You know what I mean? Because you were the most carefree, but you also were very responsible. You were, your mom, no disrespect or anything, but she put a lot on you in terms of raising the kids and everything. Debo was like an adult, but yet he was still his most carefree. You know what I mean? He was still so joyful and carefree. So for me, that was my best. No, you liked it.
I love my sisters dearly. Honestly, them being born and me being a big brother, you don't know, but to take care of them and to be, will always.
No, you should be proud of that. You should be
the day
proud
I
of that.
die.
Yeah, 100%. You should be proud of that. Okay. So like you said, you are also on. You have your own show. Do it.
Like Danny.
What is it? I never got that. But do it like Danny.
Do it like Danny.
And you have 3 co-hosts. You have cousin Angelo, cousin Louie, my cousin, and then I forgot.
Every once in a while, I have Darnella.
Darnella.
She'll make cameo appearances, and then another guy named Eric. Every once in a while, they pop on here and there.
So, if you're forced to right now, the show can only continue with one of those people. The other two, not only do they have to go, they have to be killed off. Who stays and who goes?
I stay.
Well, no, you stay. Who do you bring in with you?
Otis.
And why? You don't want to answer, huh? I would have said Lou because Lou's the backbone behind it, right?
Yeah, but Lou doesn't talk.
Yeah, but it would.
We have to beat the stories
but who would
out of Lou.
How would you? There wouldn't be a show without Lou producing and doing all that, right?
No,
or am I not
it would be Lou. I mean, of course it would be Lou. I mean, that's the easy answer.
Angelo is so
Angelo's
his
really
voice
good.
is just
But Angelo came after the fact also too. You kind of have to stay true to the beginning.
True. So it would be cousin Lou.
Cousin Lou. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that.
And that's something.
I thought you were going to go with Darnella. I thought you were going to go with Darnella.
No. No, I love Darnella, but Darnella and I are very similar.
Yeah,
and I think that we would end up fighting more than actually.
So the
discussing.
show would crash and burn. So you need some balance, and Lou is your balance. Okay.
The show would crash and burn.
Take me out of it. Who has influenced you most in your life?
Take you out of it. Who is?
I mean, don't say me.
That's a hard one. Because
or who's had the biggest effect on you? Maybe.
It's hard. I'd have to say all of the higher ups.
Your mom?
Mother.
Oh, okay.
Of course, my mom, absolutely. But I mean, your mom. Your mom is always the first choice, right? But in my particular situation, my mom, hands down, that's not even a question.
Right.
But in terms of being influential, that would have to be your mother.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Your mom has always been an Auntie Kathy. And even Uncle Lou. It's so that's a hard one because
that would be mine probably.
They've always been like my number one fans.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No. Wait, they're. Oh, and Grandma was your number one.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I forgot about Grandma. Oh, that's so terrible.
No, but that is true. Like we do have very supportive, and especially you. Like everyone has loved you from
oh
the
God,
get-go.
Grandma. Yeah, well, Grandma was also, I was first grandson technically. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh God, I can't believe I didn't pop Mama. I feel like Coco. We have to talk about her now.
I still bring up that like Grandma too. For me, the same. Like she was probably like your parents. How you're saying your mom, my mom. They're there for you. They're going to support you, all that, but they can also judge you. They can, they get. Grandma was the only one who I feel like no matter what I did, like she always had my like pure unconditional. Why am I looking over there at Desiree? Pure unconditional love, and I've never had that. Of course, I have it from my mom, but I also have the other stuff where like you need to do that too. But like with Grandma, it was just pure like 100. I've never had anybody have my back that way, besides Grandma, and I'm sure it was the same for you, for cousin Louie, so okay. How many times have you fallen in love, and do you think you already experienced the love of your life? Jimmy.
Well, that would be twice, so it'd be Jared and Jimmy were the two times I've fallen in love. Everybody else was not love. And
was Jared just because it was the first? You know what I mean? Like your first is always going to hit different.
It is,
or was it true love?
There was true love there.
Okay,
but there was also a lot of discovery there, also too.
Right.
You're with, even though it was your first, there was a lot of firsts.
That was all new for you too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Most definitely. I think when I got to Jimmy, I pretty much had been through everything at that point, and we're still good friends. And I will, to the day I die, absolutely love Jimmy. But I think that our relationship is no longer. We will always be amazing friends.
Do you guys still talk at all?
Yeah.
Like,
and we go on vacations, we go on trips together,
saw that.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay, can we take a time out from the serious and be like, do you guys still, when you go on those vacations? You got a little, right?
We the last trip we didn't. And I got the impression that perhaps maybe he may have been dating somebody, even though we were in the same bed.
But no, how? But that can't be true because his boy, the new guy, would let him go on a vacation with you. You know what I mean?
You're right. So maybe he wasn't. I don't know. You need to play things in your head. You're just like microphones.
So it's dead.
I think dead's not the right adjective to use. I think that
it's in a coma.
Well, no, I think that relationships that have fizzled are dead. I think that Jimmy's and I's relationship, we never fought. We didn't fight about money. We didn't fight about a lot of things.
So, but do you think that's kind of maybe what helped? Like that's what led you guys to break up? Because you kind of need that. Like my dirty deed gets on my nerves nonstop, and that kind of what keeps the spark. Like if it's just too good. Like, you know what I mean?
So it's funny that you say that. And for me to admit that now, I think that's kind of shitty, but that's true. And I think it's because we were brought up that way.
Yeah.
We were raised with
we saw the drama.
We saw the drama,
you need that.
right?
Can you hit me? Can you slap me? I need that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And so while what I experienced with Jimmy in a relationship was a normal relationship,
right.
What we think is normal, unfortunately, is not normal.
That's right.
Because it's not, and I hate to put that on our parents, but yeah,
and I don't want to either because my parents fought a lot, but
see, so you grew up that way. So I think now that I'm older, going back to what I said before, some relationships are what you can consider normal, and some relationships are not, or marriages, right. If everything was peachy keen, there wouldn't be so much divorce in the world, right? I think now that I am older, I am old enough to realize that whatever my parents were going through, it didn't really have anything to do with me or you.
But how are you not scared? How are you not?
Because, well, probably at the time I was scared, but because I helped raise my sisters and I was never given the opportunity to be scared.
Right.
So, it's very true. Even as a small child, I was faking it before I made it, right?
Okay.
So now reversing that, coming fast forward to now, I look back at those moments, and a lot of it I've blocked out thanks to therapy. And, I can't fault them for what they went through.
100%.
Because it was babies having babies.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I think both of our parents were very, very young.
Yeah.
And, it's hard because, my mom, really created the home. And my father, I understand his point of view nowadays. My father worked endlessly to provide a roof over our home. And listen, come on, we weren't lacking. I mean, we didn't live in a mansion, but we had a great home. I had my own room. I had a water bed.
You had a water bed.
I had a water bed. We had a pool. So my father fought hard to create those things. And I think what he wanted from my mother, that respect was never going to be given because they both were immature.
Right.
And again, there was no fault. And because our parents, your mom, my mom, were raised in an environment where it was tumultuous.
100%.
Excuse me. Where it was tumultuous, there was constant fighting, there was alcoholism. I mean, we might as well just call it a spade. It is what it is, right? You mimic what you see.
Exactly. It's hard to break the cycle.
Well, I broke it with Jimmy, and that's going back to all that. The relationship. I had that relationship with Jared. We would fight, and then we would fight, and we would fight, and then we would fight. And that's what it lent itself to be.
But aren't those the best bangs? After a good fight?
Doesn't your family watch this?
My kids don't watch it. Okay. Do you have a solution to the Middle East or Russia and Ukraine?
Yes.
And would it involve your famous Rice Krispies that I always hear about on every show, but yet I've never tasted?
Well, yes, you have.
I've never had one. I don't know why. I hear about it nonstop, but I never had one.
Oh my God, I made for the last party you had here. I made
I heard they were gone before. Yeah. So.
As soon as they got set out.
Oh, then I'll have to make some more. That's easy.
But that could be the
the pea starter.
The pea starter. Okay. Next one, because I don't think you have a solution for that.
I do, but go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, just kidding. I think we need to stop giving our money to third world countries. I think all of our money goes to the wrong people, and it should be in-house here, used to support.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I
our
agree with
infrastructure,
that.
but for the mere fact it all revolves around oil,
Yeah.
hence why Palestine and hence why Israel is in our pocket. We provided the weapons, we provided the money, all of our taxes go towards war and the prevention of making sure that nobody gets the oil.
Right.
Okay.
No, I agree. Okay, a little lighter one. Should oral sex be taught, like education-wise, be taught in school?
No, because I want to teach it on my OnlyFans so that these kids learn correctly.
Right, but it doesn't get taught, right? Because if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, right?
Yes. Do I think it should be taught in school? No, I don't think so. College, possibly. I think when you're of age, there's just too much heat right now with people thinking that, the gays are turning their children gay. It's gluten. It's your fault. It's the fact that you don't eat gluten.
True.
That's what's making everybody gay.
True. No, 100%. Okay, next one. Where's the one place you can go right now, or an activity, that when you do this, it makes everything seem all right? It's like your happy place.
It's swimming.
Is it?
Yeah.
You've always loved the pool, huh?
I love swimming. And
He
now
loves
that
water.
I have worked up to swimming a mile, it's almost like a runner. Like when I used to run when I was younger, not anymore, but when I used to run when I was younger, for the first 3 miles, I'd be like, having a puffing, but literally religiously.
Yeah.
At the 3rd mile, I don't know what it was. It was just. And it was just this, and I could have a conversation with the people. I would run 10Ks, and you could talk to the people, but it was only after the 3rd mile. Now, for swimming, it is probably after about 300 yards, then I begin to feel I have the rhythm down. And I have everything, and I'm going. And there's just something peaceful
It's like euphoric,
about
huh?
the
You're just like,
water.
yeah.
It's quiet, and you don't really hear anything. I mean, you hear people swimming and splashing, but once you get in, and to swim properly isn't like the splashing like a piranha. It is a seamless entry into the water and exit.
Yeah.
It's really seamless. And for me, that
you're
and
turning
the
me on.
beach. That and the beach.
Oh, I hate the beach.
I love the beach. There's something that's soothing about driving up to the coast and just pulling over and listening to the waves.
Actually, that's true. I like the beach at night. It is like it's like life changing. Okay. Do you remember your first celebrity crush? Was it a girl or a guy?
Ooh, that's a good question. Who was my? Oh God, it's gonna be Janet Jackson. That's my first. Well, I mean, I always loved her.
So it was more of a crush, like on her.
Yeah,
like
I can't
her
remember.
whole her whole ambience, her singing.
Yeah, I can't remember being hot and heavy for.
How about this? What was the first one to give you the tingles down here?
His name was Doug, and he went to my private school.
Oh, you're talking about a person.
And we used to all have to shower together. It was private school. So they would make you, after PE,
I don't remember showering.
The coach would scream at you. There was one guy who never wanted to take a shower. Poor thing, his name was Alfredo, but because he was so hairy. So he didn't want to get made fun of because he was so, he was like a gorilla. And so the coach dragged him into the shower one day, clothes and everything, and threw him in there and said, "You will take a shower." And so after that, everyone was like stripped naked. Like,
what?
Care.
That was school or juvenile hall?
No,
Like,
that
what?
was right. That was private school. We had nuns too.
Holy
yeah, it was St. Genevieve's.
shit.
Yeah.
So
he was a mean coach.
So what age was that?
Was it 10th grade? Wait.
Oh, okay. Older.
Wait, was
older,
it 10th
older.
grade? Yeah, 10th grade.
Okay, so you already knew that you were interested in boys. No?
So how old were you then? I knew I was interested when I was 15. I had my first experience when I was 16 with someone that I worked with at Taco Bell. Yeah. And that was just a little heavy petting.
Who made the first move? The guy or?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because you were just a kid, right?
We both were. We were both the same
okay,
age. We both were 16.
okay.
We both were
Okay.
16. Yeah.
What's your favorite family tradition? It could be either right now or from the past.
My favorite family tradition. Oh God, I miss the Christmases of all of us getting together.
That's what I was about to say. Where every cousin was here.
And every auntie and uncle was here.
Yeah.
I think that over the years, I think that a lot of
100%.
animosity and a lot of feelings still reign. And I think that at the end of the day, I think the saddest part of it all is because once Obama passed away, our matriarch, then everybody kind of just resorted back to sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
And, if we could get back to the way that it used to be for Christmases, that would be
fun and
that would be
freeing.
nice.
It was like just everybody, that was.
And we would all talk shit and we'd all have a really good time.
100% agree. 100%. Okay, next one. Lady Gaga or Madonna?
Ooh, that's hard. So I'm gonna have to go with Lady Gaga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the reason why is because Lady Gaga is a performer. Well, although Madonna is a performer too, Madonna is never been a great singer.
True.
Does she arrange great songs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Does she put on an amazing performance? Absolutely. Is Madonna a powerhouse? Absolutely. Lady Gaga is all of the above. So Lady Gaga is a powerhouse in her vocal talent. She arranges the music.
Yeah.
She writes everything. And she's also responsible for the stage aspect also too. So I have to take all of those points into consideration. Well, although I grew up with Madonna, it was, every once in a while I was like, get into the groove. She's a little goaty. But Lady Gaga sounds amazing live every single time.
So you've seen them both in concert?
Yes. Oh, yeah, multiple times.
Okay. Last one. Was Brokeback Mountain authentic? Because after I saw it, I was like, I could see myself in this scene. But was that real? Like, what do you think?
I don't think that I would find myself camping, eating a can of baked beans, and then going and having a cock up my butt. Okay? And you have to bleep that out. I understand.
I meant
But
more.
there's-
I meant more like the whole aspect of like two guys that don't necessarily know they're gay, and kind of like you get out into something, and then
sorry,
before you
the
know it, like
semantics. Excuse me, my
you know
bad.
what I
I'm
mean.
so
Like
sorry.
I didn't mean
I
you're
went
a
sexual.
cowboy. Yeah.
My bad. I'm so sorry. Do I? Yeah, it happens like that.
We're like,
that's how
we're
Jared.
like, you go out and meet someone, you're like, we're just going out as friends. I don't expect it. And then next thing you know, we're like jerking each other off, or you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, or we're making out.
It doesn't happen that quickly. I mean,
Okay.
you watch
I'm
way
just
too
saying-
much porn, Paul.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Way too much
Oh,
porn.
yeah.
So
I
that's
love-
actually, and that's the best example of
And time
how.
out. Do you know where the first place I found porn?
Where? At me?
Your room.
My room?
And it was straight porn. I was like,
Oh yeah, I love straight porn.
magazine. He had those old school VHS. I used to go into your rooms. This was already at this was at grandma's house, old house. So I don't even know.
Shit! Oh yeah, it was a dirty VHS.
And I used to go through your room like it was like on a.
What?
I'm like, oh, I found.
Where was I?
I guess you were probably at work or something. I don't know, but I was
Oh
just
my
rummaging
God.
through that room for porn. That was the first place I ever saw porn, and straight porn. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Listen, not all gay porn is great. It's so cheesy. Straight porn
So
is
do
pretty
you watch
good.
currently? Are you into straight porn or gay porn?
I'm gonna stray more towards the straight porn, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Well, but here's the thing, though. Nowadays, everybody's a he, them, she, what, whatever pretzel, and so there's so many bi performers that it's like, yeah, bi in quotes. There's so many bi performers. You don't know nowadays.
But
even if a girl's dating a guy, you don't know. It's just there's too many people that are like, I'm pansexual. I'm so open. Like,
that's what I am.
no, you're a homo.
Oh.
Like, don't like.
Okay, but why would you want to see being gay guy on guy?
I don't know.
So then should I be watching gay porn and not straight porn?
No,
You know what I mean? Like we're reversing it?
I don't know. You know why? Because gay porn is so, well, I mean, all porn's cheesy, but gay porn's like really cheesy. It's
okay.
like, hey man, I came to fix your plumbing. And then it's like,
That actually sounds like straight porn. Too.
yeah. I don't know, just different. I wish I could explain it.
Okay. That was the
Maybe
end
because
of...
I like sleep with the straight guys. Not by choice, but maybe that's what it is.
Well, are they straight if you're banging them?
Well, again, are they? No. Because, well, they sleep with me, then they go home to their wives. Yeah, don't be shocked. It happens all the time. And it happens every day.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's
All right,
true.
that's the end of rapid fire.
Oh, that
Hey,
was
you
fun.
did really good. That was
They voted for Trump.
they did really well. So I want to go now to more like real questions. You know, a little bit deeper. I want to
Okay.
hit that soul.
All right.
Okay. What was your? I don't even like this word. Gay awakening, or the moment you knew for sure, like, oh, I like guys. I love guys. I want to be with guys.
It doesn't really work out that way. It kind of just, you feel differently. You know, I always used to play with the girls and
Yeah.
jump rope and all that stuff. And not that I wanted to be a woman, but you felt safer in that feminine environment.
Okay.
Right? I never really felt safe in a masculine environment. So I always gravitated towards, hanging out with, grandma, your mom, all of the women, cooking
Right.
and doing those
Right,
types of
right.
tasks, right? There were some environmental factors to that. However, I can't really pinpoint a moment where I was like, oh, I'm gay. Because
Like,
here's the thing.
clicked, yeah.
I also didn't know what I was. If you watch my show, Do It Like Danny, you'll hear my story also too. But no, I didn't know. I knew that it wasn't right. And then it's also pounded into your head that it's not normal. Right? And to this day, it's still not normal to a lot of people, even though we're only 1% of the population. It'll always be on the back burner of, this is not normal.
Yeah, but I feel like it's lost that whole like negative, like,
Well,
oh, you're gay. Oh, what?
I mean, in all
Like,
fairness, though, you also don't live it.
yeah.
You don't live it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are married.
Well,
you
I
have
kinda do. I
kids.
kinda do.
You're
I've
ma-
done some gay things.
Oh,
Remember I came down that one day in those little tight pants and you were like, okay, all
He's
right,
talking
scratch
to
that.
his-
Let that lead to the next question, which is, okay, so growing up gay now, I think, is obviously a lot easier. Like, I see, my kids are in school, my daughter's in college, and there's like my daughter's one of their best friends is gay. Like now being gay in high school is common. But when we were kids, it wasn't. Like, you still had to hide it. You still had to, like, kind of be scared. There was still a lot of bullying, a lot of, like, there was a lot of negative, thoughts towards being gay. So for you, during high school, did you feel I'm gay, but yet I can't come out because I don't want to get beat up. I don't want to get made fun of.
Absolutely. I mean, yes is the answer to all of that. However, I don't think that it's easy. I think
even now.
I think that the kids or the youth or the adolescent have been led to believe that it's easier. And it's the same concept of everybody gets a trophy. That's not real life. Not everybody gets a trophy. When you're in a, Fortune 500 company and you're vying for a top position, you can't paint your fingernails and you can't, you run around saying, I'm wearing a queer shirt. It just doesn't exist in today's business, right? Maybe in television you can sort of get away with that, but even still, in television, there's a hierarchy that we probably know, but we don't want to know, right? You
still have to kind of hide it.
So going back to kids, I think that because kids have cell phones now, because that where social media is such an easy attainable reach, I think that it is a false sense of support. Because what you're telling these kids is it's okay to go be who you are, which it is okay to be who you are. However, there are limitations. There are, and I know people are going to be like, oh, that's not true. If you want to be a rainbow, you can always be a rainbow. No, that's not true. I think that if you set kids up and say, yes, you can be whatever you want to be, but just know not every single door or window is going to be open. And there are certain paths that you have to kind of take in a creative way to kind of get what you want. So I feel that in this day and age, I think it's even scarier to be gay because now you're telling, these young kids, you're queer, everybody's going to accept you. That's not true.
All right. Have you ever been with a woman? Or
yes.
Hooked up with a woman?
Yes.
And what did you do and how did it go?
Why do I have to tell that story? It's a Vegas story. No, because who's gonna watch this?
I mean, I don't know. I only got like 10 subscribers.
Not
that many people, so let it all out.
In all fairness, it was the husband. I went to Dre's nightclub. It was Vegas.
Oh, the after hours?
I went to Dre's nightclub, and I had back in the day, in my younger days, I was on ecstasy. So
I could go for some right now.
Actually, they were a couple. This is what I learned about like swingers and cucks and all that stuff. Like
cucks or cocks?
No, cucks.
Cucks.
It's actually cuckolds. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you look up that term, it's like when the husband
like to watch
like what
or something.
P. Diddy is doing.
Yeah.
P. Diddy's doing that, right? The husband or wife gets off on the corner knowing that the other partner is having sex with someone else. There's this like.
But how were you able to perform with the woman?
I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. So,
I mean, hold on. If you don't want to tell it.
Well, no. I mean, it's pretty graphic, though. Like, I don't know.
Well, you don't have to get into all of that.
Go.
That's Paul's wife saying, go. The husband was the one who procured me, right?
Okay.
We began to dance. We had a good time. I was pumped full of drugs and other things. And he invited me back. The wife sat in the corner to watch. And
wait. Oh, so this was you and the husband?
Yeah, the husband and I were doing our thing. And then I felt bad for her sitting in the corner. So I said I would eat her out.
Oh, stop.
Why?
Stop. You did not.
Yeah.
Why would you care about the woman? Like, you and your thing.
It was odd for him to be railing me and for her to be sitting in the corner with a vibrator.
Wait, what does railing mean?
Like
banging.
Going to town. Yeah.
Holy shit.
You wanted to know.
Babe, I need another drink.
You wanted to know. You asked me. So you probably should cut this part.
I might. How would you rate the whole experience? Was it pleasurable? Was it like, oh, that was it, and I will never do that ever again?
I did it more for the performance for the husband.
Were you into him?
Yeah, well, we had a great time.
Okay.
Yeah. I did more with a performance for him. I didn't really care about her, but then I knew at that point I don't ever want to be with a woman again.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get
That's
at.
what
Okay.
you're looking at.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was like,
okay.
I'm good with the Kraken.
Right. Okay. What age did you officially come out? It was like 18, 19?
I don't know. I mean, like, I don't think I really ever officially was like...
To your mom?
Oh, to my mom was much later. I wasn't until my 20s, I think.
Really?
And I think she knew, when I told her, she was like, I know. She knew. I mean, your
Okay.
mom knows.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, your
But I mean, because I
your
heard there was
family
I heard there was
knew.
an official time you came out to your mom, at least. But I mean, yeah, you're right. Everybody knew.
Yeah, everybody knew.
Okay.
And my mom knew, and she goes, I knew. There wasn't any, like, that was kind of it.
Were you ever almost outed before?
Was I ever No, not really, because I always... I was never around those people when I was with family or... Yeah, family.
Well, did you
All my
ever,
friends
like...
knew.
Did you ever, like, try to make a move on somebody that wasn't necessarily gay?
No.
Okay. So you always... If you were... Okay.
They always made the move on me, even though they weren't gay, so they say.
Okay. How about this? As a kid, did you have anyone that you could ever, because I know being gay at that time, now it's totally different, but at that time, did you ever have somebody in your life that you could go and like talk to about being gay? Or were you completely like on your own?
No, but from a very young age, I knew my cousin Angelo was gay.
And I never heard of Angelo. I was like, who is this Angelo?
He's on
guy?
my dad's side, so he's
Okay.
our cousin. Our dad's like Gina and all them, and so his mom is my Grammy Irene's sister.
Oh, okay.
So Angelo knew he was gay. Him and my mom would like always like laugh and tell jokes and stuff. And I'm pretty sure Angelo knew that I was gay also too. I think there's a couple other ones on my dad's side that were gay. I just don't remember.
So that kind of influenced
But
you to
Angelo
like...
was, but I never had the opportunity to like divulge or ask him until I got older. Everything I learned on my own.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
wasn't anyone that I was like, oh, can I ask you a question?
Okay. That's what I was trying to
actually,
get
you know
at.
what?
Did
I
you have-
lie. I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. When I first started, when it really took off, my gaydom, was when I started working at Mimi's.
Oh.
My friend John was the one that, and I still am friends with him to this day. And that was in the 90s.
Oh,
That's
wow.
how long we've been friends. And he was gay. He knew he was gay. And he helped me figure that out.
Was it so much you didn't know you were gay, or you just didn't want to come out? Like you didn't want to accept
So here's the
it?
thing. It's never about like wanting to come out or not wanting to come out. You are always constantly looking for your tribe. You're looking for someone that's going to identify with you, and you're looking for a safe haven.
Right.
So it's not like you want to... It's not like today where kids are like, I'm queer, I'm out. It wasn't like that. It was very different back then. If you were, you didn't divulge it to everybody.
Okay, right. It was more your personal...
Correct. But I also wasn't trying to hide it either. I wasn't
Right.
like hiding in a corner. I mean,
How about this? If you could go back to your younger self, whatever age, 12, like a younger, 12, 13, 14, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to stay in school and continue.
Why'd you stop?
Well, because I started working and then my career took off. So why go to college when, I went to 13th grade. I went to Pierce College for a hot second. But why continue your education when I started traveling all over the nation?
So then why go back and tell yourself to go back to school? Because then you would miss all that.
Well, because at the end of the day, too, there's also a level that you reach at some point where, if you want to become a lawyer, if I want to become a doctor, if I want to become something different other than a television producer,
Right.
then they're going to want to see some sort of credentials.
Okay,
And I think if I want to become a therapist and I want to help people,
Right.
you have to have a doctorate degree. You know what I mean? You have to be up there.
100%. Okay. How about this? When you did finally, I know you don't like to say like coming out or whatever, but when you finally were, okay, everybody knows I'm gay, did you notice anything change with family or friends? Like, did they treat you any different or?
Obama never kissed me on the lips again.
Why though? Wait, she never kissed me on the lips.
You used to go out of your grandma. She always did side. It was always before
But
we.
she always did that with me too.
But
you were getting lips? You were getting lip on lip?
I would do like they'd be like, I don't know, you kiss some of your on lip, and then she stopped. Now I don't know if that's just me being I don't know, but she's the only one. Because I actually thought that my grandma Irene was gonna be the one that I was.
I loved your grandma.
I thought by
so
me
cool.
telling her that I was gay, I was going to put her in the grave, and it did not.
Why though? She
because
was so
I felt like they were
sweet
very
and-
conservative.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Mama I thought was very liberal. You know what I mean? And she was.
Yeah.
And Grandma, of course, obviously accepted me no matter what, but it was a
Right.
scotch different.
But
and
Grandma had to know you were like.
she probably did. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, but we don't have her here to ask her. That's
Yeah.
a hard one. You know, it wasn't like I was trying to actively hide it. I didn't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
almost
yeah.
like, you know, when you're trying out for sports, you don't know if you're good at it or not. I mean, maybe that's not a great, you know, analogy to kind of compare it to, but you know, you just it's a whole process. It's more. There is more to the picture than just saying I'm out.
Yeah,
There's a
That's
lot.
why I hate asking the like. Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it.
Right.
And again, going back to, I think that's the false environment that is being given to the kids nowadays. And I say kids because they're believing that they can
It's
be
100%
this way.
safe. I'm 100%. Yeah.
And you're not.
And it's not.
There's
Yeah, yeah.
always going to be someone that wants to do harm to you.
Right. Okay. This is the last question. This is more like my personal, maybe I have my own issues, but so I always felt like I was closer to you than anybody else on my mom's side. Even on my dad's side, like I was closest to you. Like we spent summers together. We like any vacation, or I don't have the picture. Oh, that one right there. Debo was dressed in the exact same outfit. green corduroys and that sweatshirt, which we should reenact that. But so from day one, we were like this.
Yeah.
And I always felt like when you, again, I keep saying coming out, and you're like, I don't like that whole coming out, but like when you finally came out and was like, I'm gay, da da da, I felt like we drifted, and I feel like at that time we went from me and you like, you know, a family party. Oh, Debo's here, da da da. We run to each other like we're gonna play, we're gonna do whatever. To all of a sudden it was like once you came out, it was like oh, and all of a sudden it was like oh, like I'm gonna hang out with you know, Ange and Chris and your sisters and talk with them, and I was like. When I would come around, it was like, oh, you wouldn't talk at all about guys or, you know, whatever you guys were talking about. Oh, I want to bang who was the hot guy, you know, Scott Baio, man. I don't know, whatever. But also when I would come around, I was like, oh, no, nothing. And we would never talk about, you know, you being gay or guys. So I always felt, and this might just be my insecurity, I always like project or like, oh, he didn't, you know, think I would be, you know, secure or understanding. But I always felt like you never opened up to me until we went down to San Diego one time. This was where I already graduated from San Diego State. I was still living down there. You were down there, I think, opening up Mimi's or maybe the cheesecake.
Okay.
And so somehow we did some kind of arrangement where I didn't have a car, so you were going to take me down, and we drove down, and you just started like spilling everything about Jared and like the first time, like, oh, we were on the beach and we were about to bed, like all this crazy stuff. And I was like, finally, like what did it, like why could you never tell me this for like, because you had already been out for, you know, 8 years at that time. We were already in our 20s, I think. Debo, did you not feel like I could handle it, or did you feel like I would judge you, or did you just not feel comfortable talking to me about that? Was I wrong? Am I just stupid, or?
No, I think that you have to understand something. So you were on a completely different trajectory.
100%.
You were into sports. You
100%.
played sports. I mean, your mom and dad always had you in something. I didn't take that route. So I always felt that like we didn't really have a lot in common.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because I to this day, I will watch football, but I still hate it, right? I hate baseball more. But, you know, I've learned to appreciate that now, basketball and hockey, but I wasn't interested in that stuff. And so I always felt like there was a little bit of a disconnect there. Now that I'm older, I can say that. But when I was younger, I mean, I don't know, it could be multiple reasons. I mean, again, for you to put that on me to share my life with you and personal stories when I wasn't even sharing them with any gay people. So, you know what I mean? So it wasn't personal. It just was the fact that, and I don't even remember, like, it's funny that you keep saying coming out. I don't remember that there was like this formal announcement. It kind of just happened. So you keep putting the emphasis on coming out, but I don't even remember.
And see,
like, I always felt like I've always been gay.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt. When I say coming out, the only reason I say that is because there was like an official time And again, it might not have been an official time. I haven't been a real coming out, but where my mom came to me and was like, you know, Debo came out to sis, and then and I don't know if this is true or not, but he was like, or my mom was like, you know, sis like cried and like, but she accepted it, and so this all came to me, and I was like, and I knew you were gay, but it was like, okay, and then all of a sudden after that, so that's when I say like coming out moment, because that's what I remember is like Debo came out to his mom, and it was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, but I was already in my 20s.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like Had I already been in a relationship with Jared? Maybe not. Maybe I wasn't.
No. This was before Jared.
Yeah, well, but I was with Jared in my early teen. Like I was like 19 or 20.
Jared was right after this, because I remember then all of a sudden you would come up and like you brought Jared a couple times, and it was like, like Debo's in a relationship.
Jared and I were in a relationship for I think 3 years. I can't remember the actual length and time. But yeah, listen, the whole thing was a learning process. It's not like what is perceived on television or nowadays. Again, I'm beating a dead horse, but when kids are led to believe that coming out is easy, it's never easy. It's never easy at all whatsoever. And it doesn't matter who you tell, because sometimes the people that you trust the very most are the ones that are going to go and spread the rumor elsewhere. So, I mean, you really kind of are still technically, well, although it's widely sort of accepted nowadays, you still are kind of in the closet. And I think now, even with our current administration, I feel like I've kind of regressed a little bit more into the closet. I'm very aware now of my surroundings.
Well, I heard that on your last episode where you said, I feel a little uncomfortable. Did you say uncomfortable?
Yeah,
or?
I definitely, I think that now I'm aware of my surroundings like you wouldn't believe, because there are people out there that are looking to hurt you even though you're not doing anything, right? Or also too, there are straight guys gangs that go around and they look for gay men, and then they pretend that they're gay and they lure you out of the bar, and then they kidnap you, rob you, and beat you.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a whole thing. So you really don't know who to trust nowadays. So it's not as easy as what the kids are being led to believe, which is we're great.
It's all going to be rainbows,
it's not. And it's really not. There's a lot of blood mixed in those rainbows, and you just got to be careful. You got to be careful. And the dynamic of our family has changed over time. So, you know, our relationship has changed over time also too. And then also too, remember, I will also, going back to when you said about why maybe I didn't share, I was on my own discovery, right? You were doing yours with sports and school, and I was getting carted off all over the nation. Every job that I've ever had, whether it was Mimi's, I was living in Arizona. I was living in...
by then, that's when you had already come out. Like, why did he say coming out?
But then
that's
remember too...
So, do you remember that time we went down to San Diego? When you drove me? See, that I knew. I don't. So, I don't remember that. You let everything out. Like,
how did we lead up to that, though? Did you ask me something?
I don't know. I think you just started talking about Jared, because I think that was that time where you had that roommate that knew him, and it was like something. It was in San Diego. Like, there was something in San Diego that...
Oh, that was when Jared and I broke up.
Right. So I think it was just like you wanted to talk about it. But I remember I was just like
that was when we broke up because he cheated on me.
Okay, that was that. Yeah. Okay. So I think you let it all out. But
So that was 90...
You told me everything. So anyways, it was just... I just felt... But you're right. That's more... I'm making it more about me. It shouldn't be about me. It should be about you being comfortable talking to me. But I don't know, at that time it just felt good that you were finally able to talk to me about, hey, I was with this guy, I was with that guy, and I was like,
but
you've never talked to me like that.
You also have to take this into consideration. Even now, sharing this with you, even though we're cousins, and I know that, like, you know, we're playing, it's kind of uncomfortable for me to share that with you. Yeah, because I can joke like this with like people that I don't know that's not family, but to say this to family and to like divulge the gay things with family, you know what it is? I still have a respect for you. I have a respect for you that even to Louis, that's on my show also too. I try not to expose him and you. I'm like, I would never tell your daughters too.
But see, that's I would never. I like that.
Tell me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell Dad. Okay, I'll tell Dad.
No, but I like that. That was my whole point. When you opened up like that, I was like, I love this. It made me feel closer. It made me actually feel like you looked at me like, okay, like we were, you know what I mean? Like so before, I felt like you looked at me like, okay, I can't really tell him everything because he's a guy and he's into chicks. And when you opened up it was a 3-hour beautiful trip. I'm talking like Trump. A beautiful drive down to San Diego. The lights. It was nighttime. It was like perfect. You had good little, I don't know what you listened to back then, techno music, but it just made me, and you're right, it shouldn't be about me, but it just made me feel like, oh wow, Debo finally is comfortable, trust me, to be able to talk about, because before you had never mentioned anything like that.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But you have to remember that at that time, or even forever though, I will always accept you and respect you.
Yeah.
I will never have a barrier between us, but there is a limit though, and with the same respect that I give to you, I would do that for your kids. I mean, I would say certain things, but I don't divulge everything.
Yeah.
So it's not personal.
I get that.
It's more of a protection.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that, like, I don't know, like I just feel like, oh my God, I don't think my cousin wants to hear this, or doesn't, like, I don't know.
Okay, but Debo, you do remember we went out a couple times, like us, Chris, when we were in that party phase, and I heard some stories, and I'm not going to repeat them, but so you were okay with telling me those stories.
Wow, well, I was probably drunk or high or whatever. Yeah.
Well, actually, we probably all were. How do you feel now, though? You feel like you could tell me anything?
I just did on your own show. Hello.
So I want to say a big thank you to my favorite cousin. Actually, I can't say that, huh? Because everyone gets all mad when I can't say that. To one of my favorite cousins. But seriously, Debo, thank you. I'm glad, like, I've been wanting to have you on. And I've had that question for so long, and I knew it wasn't a big deal. I knew it was like me making up more than I should. But I felt so close to you always.
I feel like this is the TMZ version, though, right? Like, what
do
are
you
my
mean?
accomplishments? Like in television, my 3-time Emmy Award winning.
Oh, we'll bring that up on the Do It Like Danny show.
Okay.
So thank you for coming on. You've always been my closest in terms of, growing up, my family. I've always respected and supported, like, you on, all your shows. I was always 100, your biggest supporter. I still am, like, whatever you're doing, I'm supporting. So I just wanted to make sure you know that. I appreciate you. I love you. That's my big thing now. I want to start saying I love you more to the people that really,
I love you too.
Thank you. So that's the end of my, and if you want to finish it off with your last words, but hey, I'm glad this was honestly felt good for me. Like, I wanted to hear you say certain things, and that's what I got. So.
Well, as you can see, coming from my family, for the people that I've worked with and for friends, if you also feel the same way too about Do It Like Danny, you can see you're not alone, because my cousin who I grew up with and actual blood with had these same feelings also too. So in this podcast takeover of Do It Like Danny and BD Boys, you can also see that, like, I don't have an issue talking about what we talked about today, and I want to thank my cousin I want to thank you for letting me come on and tell my insane stories. I mean, this is kind of how my trajectory in television started to begin with, so I'm coming back to my roots. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode of BD Boys and Do It Like Danny crossover. He won't be back next week, but there's more coming up with Cousin Louie and Cousin Paul, and we will see you. Is your show tomorrow, or when do you do 2 shows or 1 show? I can't remember.
2 shows.
So, and we'll see you later on this week. That way, when you cut it, you'll.
All right, thank you, Debo. Can I give you a hug? I feel.
Yeah.
You feel good, or you?
Yeah. It's so crazy.
No, I always felt that, but I was like, I know me and Debo are close, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't anything.